Hello, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at. Welcome in. Welcome to the Speed Gaming Live Daily series, our Link to the Past daily race, the Open Weekly. I'm James FNX, and I'm joined today by Lana Bean. Lana, how are you doing?
Great, thank you. I hope you're doing well. And how are you doing today?
Doing all right. We've got four of our runners on stream today. On the upper left-hand side, we got Flip Heel. On the upper right, we got Ravis. On the lower left, we got Matt Cap, and on the lower right, Deep Fried 87. We'll watch these four runners go through the stream. They're part of a larger race, and we'll get kicked off just a second or two here.
Good turnout today. 28 total entrants. 24 of them not being featured, of course.
And if you have not watched Link to the Past Randomizer before, welcome in. Everything is mixed up in the world. Our logic today is open, so it's a very basic set of settings as we get started here with a piece of heart in Link's house. Three of our four runners starting in Link's house. Ravis choosing to start up in the sanctuary. Also finds a piece of heart.
A little bit of love all around.
Yeah, and these are basically the two of the main routes runners will take. I caught a crystal at Eastern Palace on Ravis' side, but didn't catch the other two dungeon prizes.
Neither did I. It was very quick. Looks like we have a bomb prize on the guards, so that's good.
Yeah, early bombs always a fun thing to have. It'll make life in Kakariko much easier. Our tier 1 tree pole is just 10 arrows, so players won't be farming that one too hard.
Not much in the uncle area to speak of, with I believe 10 arrows and another piece of heart.
20 rupees and a piece of heart, but
Oh, 20 rupees. Okay.
yeah, not much to speak of indeed. Nothing so far in Lost Woods for Ravis either.
I think Ravis just picked up a blue armor. Good early safety.
Kind of a mixed bag for some of these runners. They're going to want to sometimes check out dungeons and try and death warp back to the start. Blue armor actually makes that process a little bit slower.
Yeah, it can for sure. Looks like Reva saving quitting after the drop down in the Lost Woods and going to Link's house and going for the west route towards Kakariko South.
Yeah, this route kind of leaves that uncle check-in for when you want to do the front of Hyrule Castle as well. You can grab some bombs here at these 50-50 bushes. There's a chance that a couple of these bushes will have bombs. Gets one on that loop, and we'll have to go around and catch again. A little more divergence here as Deep Fried is heading to the Eastern Palace area. We do get another look at the map. Looks like a pendant on Hera and a pendant at Desert.
Yeah, interesting layout. Gonna have a lot of Dark World dungeons today.
And I kind of like this from Deep Fried. Actually, you don't see talking to Sarasa a lot in open mode because once you get Dark World access, it finds a hammer here in the back of
Ooh,
Sarasa's hut as well. You don't normally see people talk to Sarasa to find out where the green pendant is, but having these two pendants in the light world already, you get to find out a lot about how the world could be laid out where that green pendant's at. It's in Swamp Palace today.
it is. Saha telling us where that was. Only question is where the red crystals are today.
Yeah, we'll find that out in a bit once we get in the Dark World. All our runners trying to gather our supplies and head to Kakariko. Ravis is the first one in town.
Deep Fried finding 10 arrows on the floating island in here in on Lake Hylia, so not too interesting there.
Back at the tavern, nothing special.
And it looks like Madcap's still trying to get some bombs.
Yeah, getting very unfortunate here with these bomb drops. There are two bushes here that can have bombs, and it's about a 50-50 chance on each one. Every time you spawn the screen, whether or not you're going to get a bomb or not. So very unlucky for Madcap. A hook shot in Blind's hut. We found a hammer and a hook shot already.
Good hook shot. That'll make it easier for Mini Molder whenever they decide to go there.
And a book in the back of Blind's hut too.
Well, runners will have to decide if the game wants them to head towards Desert or if it has something else in mind.
Or sword in the back of the well. A fairly stacked Kakariko so far. Do just get that sword, hookshot, and bow. Or, not bow, book.
The single arrow in the damned rain check. Didn't catch what was inside the damn check, though.
And either we'll get that eventually. We got lots of runners to cover, and also helping us along track these items. Our two trackers today, Datwave and Robs. Nice bomb strats from Deep Fried, getting the Moldorms killed here in Mini Moldorm Cave, and find a prize out. We got a bow to start things out with.
Good bow find.
Just a bow and a little bit of spending money.
A little bit unfortunate. Could have cleared out Eastern if they happen to hit up Mini Moldorm before going to Saha, but not too far out of the way anyway.
And we see our first. Well, this is Ravis's hidden uncle. I assume that since Ravis put this off so long, Ravis is going to head into the front of escape after this.
Oh, definitely, that's what I would do for sure. They're pretty much at this point, they need a glove and a moon pearl for Dark World access. At least that's what we know.
Shovel in the library. That's kind of a bad feeling. You never really want to go back for a fetch quest item, but you can't really take it off your map.
Not quite yet. It is only one check, and thankfully it is close by, but first you kind of need those boots.
Ravis is the first of our forerunners to hop into Hyrule Castle. There are, we saw one item at Sanctuary, so there's 5 items left between the 4 checks here in the front and the 3 checks in back. Appeal with this book looks to be doing Mini Moldorm West, a route I kind of like, where you do this Mini Moldorm Cave first, then head to the dam and walk over to Desert.
Will be interesting if they continue to go west for sure.
Making good use of this hook shot, killing these Mini Moldorms. 1 hit.
Well, good point from chat. They do have the book, and with those 2 pendants in Light World and Swamp Palace, it might not be a bad idea to check Pedestal sooner than later, but we'll find out.
Yeah, none of these runners are really taking a route that would allow for an early Pedestal check, though.
Nobody picking up that single arrow, kind of disappointing. Good guard strats from Ravis, getting him pushed up into the key door there, and having that issue you were talking about, having the blue mail, so taking a few extra hits here trying to set up a death warp.
Yep, guard deals 1 heart of damage every time he hits you on green mail, but only half a heart on blue mail, so a few extra hits already being up to 5 hearts this seed. Ice Rod Cave just having a piece of heart. And so far, nothing in the escape sequence either for Ravis.
At this point, with what we've seen, it's Desert with Agina or Eastern at this point, having some sort of progression.
Madcap looking to set up a fake flipper here, trying to overload how the game handles your swimming state with some arrows and bombs, or doesn't quite pull it off.
Didn't have the bombs for too many attempts, unfortunately.
Yeah, just the 3 bombs in inventory, and it takes 2 for that at every time, so just the 1 chance. Does have a bomb for Ice Rod Cave. Will be kind of disappointed by the results, but...
Well, and I'd be surprised if we didn't get our first
Ooh.
Eastern check by Flip Heel.
Ooh. In
What's
Dark
that?
Cross, we have a K and a Samaria.
Ooh.
So Ravis is a little ahead of the game there. That item locks 2 dungeons, but also makes movement a lot faster in a couple other dungeons as well.
And we do know that both it will be a Crystal Mire and Turtle Rock given our pendant layouts.
So absolutely. No one has made the play over to Desert Palace as of yet.
But we are getting our first Eastern check from Flip Heel. Oh, and it was just a piece of heart that I missed at the front check of that damn area. So that's not too bad, but not what they're looking for.
Flip Hill and Eastern Palace, like you said, 3 items in this dungeon. With no lamp, one of those items, 1 or 2 of those items could be out of logic, but these runners should be good enough to be able to handle this dungeon without too much worry, except for maybe the room, the last dark room, and this can be a little bit of a problem among low health.
I can't blame him for sure. Avoiding desert right now, you have a good chance of being locked out there with no boots, and you may overall get 3 checks, including Agina, Desert Ledge, and the 1 check in Desert you're guaranteed.
Especially with that being a pendant, it is not hard to see why these runners have all avoided that area so far. But every time I get a book early, it just kind of it feels like there's something there.
I would definitely suspect something this early for sure. Still, 1 to 2 more logical checks in Eastern. Let's see if one of these is progression.
Lee Fliphill did see that big key, so we have 2 more checks along the way. Get a bottle. That's our first bottle. That'll open up another check in Kakariko.
And there is 1 item left in Eastern. Will this big chest be in? And it looks like we also have Madcap following not far behind.
First chest map.
Well, the play looks to be desert.
Yeah. Fliphill didn't check the big chest, so maybe it looks like I was probably wrong on Fliphill having that big key so far. So with that big key out of logic, the only thing in Eastern is that bottle. So that does unlock 1 check in logic, but not a ton else. No, it is the big key. So Flipphill's just holding out on us. It's leaving it to mystery. 20 rupees in the lamp block check.
Okay, so nothing going to be on Armos, but you will get your first crystal, so you got to beat it while you're here.
Oh, there might be something on Armos still. We have not checked the big chest yet, and that's only 2 items.
Oh, I thought they did check the big chest. Oh.
Nope.
Never mind.
It's an ice rod. But there is nothing on Armos. Just the boss kill.
No ice rod hunt for these runners today.
And Ravis and Deep Fried making their way over to Eastern Palace as well. So all 4 of our runners are going to be in the same location here.
Looks like Flip Heel having a little bit of an issue in this dark room here.
Yeah, this is the problematic one. This is one of the harder rooms in the dark rooms in the game. You generally come here a little bit lower health, and without a fire source, trying to pick up these Igors can be very difficult.
They can be. And all those other enemies moving around the room could also interrupt anything you're trying to do to set up actually taking out the enemy. Those Igors can be tricky.
Flip kill on his way to the boss. We'll see if we can pull off the quick kill here.
Whoops.
Extra arrow. 1 arrow too many. Killing that Armo is going to have to clean it up. Does recover nicely and does get crystal number 1. Our first crystal for our 4 runners.
And right behind him will be Madcap, and the other 2 runners not far behind that. Looks like Madcap going for the same setup.
Nicely done on my Madcap. He gets that quick kill.
Very nice.
And Madcap, by checking that big chest before making the loop, did get to skip that entire big key chest loop, knowing does know there's one item left in there. We know it's nothing, but if Madcap just can avoid that, we'll pick up a little bit of time on the rest of the runners, probably.
Making the right call. But seems to be at Sanctuary. Where could we be going? Maybe that bottle Sick could turn in.
That's what it looks like. Makes sense. There's not, like you said, there's not a lot of guaranteed logical checks in the desert area, even with that book. Only 2 guaranteed items, potential for a third. And Flippy is going to make his way over to desert, but let's see what Sick Kid has for us. That's a glove.
Well, that seems a little required, and immediate Dark World access for Madcap. Oh wait, no Moon Pearl.
No Moon Pearls as of yet, but that does give us access to the mountain out of Logic. The back of Escape is now in Logic.
And Flip Heel making the desert play, so we'll find out what is in desert. Because so far that glove unlocks the back of Escape and Zora. That's about it.
Yep. Madcap making a beeline to the back of Escape.
With only a heart container on that ledge, I think.
Yeah, we'll see how our runners feel about that extra heart. Just a bottle and map chest. That guarantees we're boots locked here in desert.
Well, what also means you did not necessarily need to go into Eastern for that, but since you had to go over there anyway for your hammer, it was a good call.
There's a fire rod and a mushroom in the back of Escape. Fire rod doesn't do a lot right now. It does put that Armos Knight fight we just had in Logic.
It does. I guess that leaves us with Zora.
Does leave us with Zora and Agina.
And Agina, yeah, that's a good point.
Welcome in everyone writing for us from the Speak Gaming Portuguese channel. Welcome into the Link to the Past Open Weekly. Just getting things underway here.
So far, a tight race between all 4 runners, and it looks like Madcap is going to be the first up Death Mountain, but Agina looks to be the play.
Yeah, Agina has the Moon Pearl, so in a weird little twist, runners could have just literally avoided Eastern Palace and gotten everything they needed for Dark World access.
Looks like it. But they did get rewarded at least with an Ice Rod, one less thing to worry about.
Absolutely.
And Flip Heel going to the front of Escape as well. Maybe going to get rewarded with that Cane of Samaria.
Madcap delivering the old man to his house on the mountain. I didn't quite catch what reward was there for that.
I missed it myself.
$20 on top of Spectacle Rock. And a mirror inside. We'll be going for that one.
Wow, good sequence break there. And that also does unlock some Dark World checks.
Yeah, that'll make Madcap's routing a little bit cleaner once he gets into the Dark World, but still has to get over to Agina. And this is going to put Hera... Oh, this whole sequence is out of Logic, but it's going to put Hera on Madcap's radar right away.
Well, and once we get logical Death Mountain access, that puts us very close to being able to pull Pedestal. We just need a pair of boots.
Yeah, still need a couple things. We need flippers as well.
Oh, I thought we had it. Okay, you're all right.
We'll need all the footwear for Pedestal today as we get a look at Dark World. 5, 6s are Skull Woods and Ice Palace.
And with that Fire Rod, we will be able to go ahead and do Skull Woods. At least whoever picks it up before going to the Dark World.
Rave's about to get his glove. Is Ether Tablet not going to have the answer for us today?
But it's kind of a weird situation for Ravis because they get Dark World access, which means they will be missing out on that Fire Rod for a bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, being in picking up that glove in Kakariko is going to take him directly to the Village Outcast World, as the boots are locked on the mountain. Matt kept finding those boots
Oh,
in the basement of Tower of Hera.
very good find. You will take in sequence and out of sequence boots every day.
Flip heel understanding B economics, picking up 100 rupees.
And Madcap with a nice hero pot there. I'm going with the pause strats. Moon Pearl for deep fried.
So everyone has their Moon Pearl now. And there's a second item in Hera, just that piece of art. We do find the boots in there, though. Matt Cap not going to continue on and beat the boss. Going to move on over, take this hammer over to the east side of Death Mountain.
Don't blame them at all. It's still early, and while we are reasonably close to pedestal logic, that still is only one check.
Dead Rocks doing Dead Rock things to Matt Cap. Meanwhile, Ravis into Village Outcast, taking a look at the C-shaped hut. Just some money. Did pick up Ether in the chess game, though.
That's a good find. One less thing to be worried about picking up because we're likely to need, at the very least, one of those to get into Turtle Rock and Mire.
And Ravis picking up some bombs before heading into Thieves Town. Good game knowledge knowing that shop's there. Buying bombs instead of depending on the 50-50 bush, and only rewarded with 5 rupees, so. Bunch of checks for Madcap here in Paradox Cave, nothing so far.
And we have Ravis going into, in logic, Thieves Town.
And Flip Hill in Skull Woods, also in Logic.
But no Fire Rod, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going to be a double dip for Flip Hill, and Paradox Cave completely empty for Madcap.
Well, got rewarded with the boots and with the mirror, so that is going to open up some extra Dark World checks that the other runners are not going to have.
Yeah, and I spoke a little too briskly earlier. Madcap still does not have that Moon Pearl yet.
Oh gosh, you are right.
Chose the
But
mountain over the desert area.
they'll be able to get there faster.
Madcap with these boots is going to take a look at what's on the Lumberjack. Just a piece of heart. And I haven't really seen anything in Skull Woods for Flip Heel.
Didn't look like it.
I did get the half magic, which is a very, very nice safety, especially only having fighter sword so far.
Very true. Early enough in the game where a few extra Ice Rod or eventual Fire Rod shots are going to be useful.
Nice boomerang strats from Ravis, hitting that switch. Wasn't quite able to tell what was on Bumper Ledge for Flip Heel. He moved it off screen real quick.
He did. Didn't quite catch that.
Matt Cap in the desert does have this fire rod. Will be able to beat this dungeon if he so chooses. Already did pass up one pendant in Hera, though.
Ravis with the bug net find in Thieves Town. And unlike the other runners, Madcap is going to be able to go ahead and clear out this desert palace and also pick up their moon pearl right after they finish the dungeon.
You know, although already skipping one boss, it would not surprise me if Madcap finds the second item here on the right-hand side, along with the big key to just head out the east door and forget about the dungeon.
That is very true as well. I forgot it was a pendant. Okay, so Madcap's last hope for a second item in this dungeon will be the big chest, I believe.
Yep, that's true. It's just a small key in Maiden's Cell in Thieves Town, and does unlock Quake. So that's
Ooh.
2 of our 3 medallions already found for Ravis. We
Oh,
know
I
we're going to
think
need at least one.
pretty sure that we are very close to a no mode of mitts and flute. Unless we need bombos. And flippers. I guess flippers.
Flippers are technically required. We wouldn't need them actually to get into ice. So I'm sure most of these runners, or all these runners, are comfortable
Oh,
doing a
true.
fake flipper to get into Ice Palace. And Swamp is our green pendant, so
I guess mitts and a medallion, and then if needed, and a flute.
yep. And won't be able to avoid picking up this pendant to clear out desert as Lamo has her last item. Very good blind fight from Ravis.
And Madcap going for the desert dungeon clear.
Interestingly, Matt Cap is the only one of our 4 runners that went into the back of Escape before heading to the Dark World. So the only one of our 4 runners that has Fire Rod right now.
That is a good point. Everyone else elected to go ahead and just go straight for Dark World since I'm pretty sure the glove automatically unlocked it, so nobody wanted to check the back of Escape.
Depending on
Land?
how quickly we find that flute, uh, back of Escape, really easy location to get to if you save and quit. But if you don't ever have an incentive to save and quit, it can be a hard one to get to later in the game.
And Landmo only rewarding $50 in the blue pendant.
Cap about to get his Moon Pearl. Ravis going to be the first runner to give us a look at Hype Cave.
Let's see if it lives up to its name today. That was a fairy in a bottle, I think.
Yeah, a shield and a fairy in a bottle, so not much hype in Hype Cave.
Davis electing to go towards Pod, it looks like. Nope. Heading south.
Buying a red potion. He has a bow. Why are you spending this time to buy a potion?
That's a good point, yeah. Potion glitch is not much of a thing, but I guess with 6 hearts, maybe a little extra protection in case you end up having issues.
Oh, no fire rod. This makes sense. Dark Turtle Room is an actual thing.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that.
So Pod's dark rooms aren't too bad for the most part, except for Turtle Room, where there are 6 of these Terrapin enemies that can't be damaged until you turn them over with your hammer. And you have to do it completely dark.
Another interesting thing is that Ravis still is the only one. I didn't notice this if anybody mentioned it or if you mentioned it earlier. Ravis still the only one with Samaria.
Yeah, Ravis is the only person that only one of our runners that has gone to the back of Escape and grabbed that Samaria.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's in an awkward place for Madcap at this point because that's the only item left in Escape for him.
That could be troublesome later. Yeah.
Definitely. But being the only runner with Fire Rod at this point, Madcap can finish this dungeon out. Skull Woods. We'll find out what the other item is in the back.
Sword, 7 hearts, but Fire Rod and Half Magic should make it pretty easy, hopefully.
Welcome into the Raiders. Welcome into the Open Weekly. Yeah, Fighter Sword, not a big deal when you have half magic, and Fire Rod, you can just become a caster, essentially.
And Deep Fried and Flip Heel with a high 5, getting their heart piece from Stumpy. Or heart container.
Yep, and Deep Fried continuing on, but Flip Heel choosing to save and quit. This might be the back of escape play for Flip Heel.
That'll be good for them, but I do hope that they end up going to the front. Or at least the Dark Cross check.
There is the key is also in the back here, so Flip Heel might just walk this back out to Dark Cross. Who knows?
And they're debating. Oh, they're going. They're making the right call.
For it. I like this play. I like this play.
I do like it. There's one item, and you don't want to have to return here again later.
Yeah, and these rooms are relatively tame, especially with Fire Rod.
Yep, if you know those locations of the torches, pretty easy room, and Madcap making the Mothula fight look very easy. Well done.
Yeah, it does pick up a Cane of Burna, so a nice safety item. Does logically open one check up on the mountain.
Very true, as soon as we actually get logical check to the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, who knows when that's going to be.
Yeah, at this point, Pyramid or Pod has to, or maybe Catfish or Zora, I guess. Not the only things we haven't seen open to the runners logically.
I think this is our first look at the pyramid item for Deep Fried.
And Ravis going into Pod as well. I didn't happen to catch what was on right side, though.
I did not see either. Just a piece of heart on the pyramid.
And as pointed out in the chat, bombs are on the pedestal, so pedestal is no longer a thing.
Yeah, it's got to feel good, especially with having literally one item away from that pedestal being accessible. Knowing that Madcap already skipped beating the boss of Hera, so finding out that it's just bombs are a really good feeling. You got to give that mushroom away before you can find what that item is, Lipiel.
And Deep Fried giving us our catfish check as well.
From Deep Fried's perspective, I like this too. You have very quick access to Pod. You don't have quick access here. You might as well get this check out of the way. Rave is finding the flippers in Palace of Darkness. Just a piece of heart on Catfish, though.
Ooh, could that be pointing them into Swamp Palace?
Yeah,
At this point,
that is a full clear swamp,
Yep.
which is worth 7 items because of that green pendant.
And no logical access to Ice Palace until you get a glove, which could very well be in Swamp at this point. Oh, never mind. Ravis just finds the gloves in the Dark Maze and
Dark
Pod.
Maze. So those are hard lamp lock. That once Matt Cat makes his way over and grabs those mitts, that'll actually give him a lot of information, knowing what is on the mountain and where lamp could be.
Yeah. And that could put maybe a lamp in Swamp Palace. Maybe just that. So they just may be able to skip that swamp check.
Deep Fried finding that fire rod in the back of Escape and is also going to continue on and grab Samaria. So Matt Cap going to be the only one left out in the dark, somewhat literally, looking for Samaria.
Yeah. I think we're just looking for a flute and maybe bombos.
Asking why lamp logic is important. It normally isn't all that important, lamp logic, but we do know that there is required items on the mountain. Mirror is not actually required, is it? Because Swamp Palace isn't a thing today. But we do know that mirror is on the mountain, and that's currently locked by the lamp of the flute. So knowing that the mitts are also lamp locked kind of narrows down A, where the lamp can be, and B, what the actual logical access to Death Mountain is.
Yep, at this point, we could very well have a flute go mode in Turtle Rock, for instance. We have both the fire and ice rods, we have 2 of the 3 medallions, and while not in logic, we do have the mitts.
Yeah, is having a lamp not having a lamp going to stop a runners? No, but knowing that what is and isn't locked by the lamp can be useful at times.
And for Ravis is unfortunately still missing that fire rod.
Yeah, in this dark turtle room, did get 2 or 3 of them killed in one shot with the RNG strats, or the NMG strats. Those get through it pretty well.
Makes it through. I like it. Ravis pulling off the bomb strats and then switching to hammer. So if you're in Ravis's position, do you take those mitts up immediately to Death Mountain?
Having not been up there yet, probably. There's so many checks up there.
There are. And if you know logic, you know that lamp could very well be the only thing in Swamp Palace.
Right. Yeah, because now at this point, you know your lamp's not going to be in ice, it's not going to be in mire, it's not going to be in Turtle Rock.
And with no sign of a Master Sword yet, which we technically do need, there's not a huge concern for Bombo's tablet. That is, even when they can find the mirror. Oh wait, yeah. Madcap already has that.
Madcap has the mirror. It's in Spec Rock Cave. Chat asking about Zora. We've not had anyone head up to the Zora area yet. Raven's the only runner finding these flippers, and without easy boots and a very late moon pearl, not a lot of incentive for our runners to do fake flipper strats today. Nice bomb jump by Flip Heel.
That's a tough one. Very good job. And Ravis picking up that fire rod, so good for them.
Yeah, that could have been kind of a disaster if Ravis had to up the mountain immediately and found Turtle Rock accessible.
Mm-hmm. At this point, though, when is Madcap going to go back to Dark Cross? I mean, it is in logic with that fire rod.
I am not sure. Ravis going to turn in this mushroom, pulling off the easy fake flipper there.
Yeah, I'm going to get rewarded with $20, I believe I remember seeing there, I think.
Deep Fried, the first of our... it doesn't have the mitts yet. Our second runner up here on Death Mountain. Has not...
Sorry, go ahead.
Has not found his way over to that mirror yet, taking the long way around.
A little curious as well is that none of our runners that have found the mushroom and gonna turn it in have done fake powder either.
Yeah, that is a little bit interesting. Um, I'm a big fan of a fake powder check, but I know a lot of runners are not.
Well, I guess with no boots for them, well, at least for most of them right now, it's a little bit harder to refill your magic, though. But if you're going to go over to the magic shop anyway, you can refill it anyway from a green potion.
Flip Heel getting those flippers out of the Ruby Loop.
And Deep Fried getting those boots out of Hira. And Ravis going into Ice Palace, given our first look. So we do know that Ice Palace cannot have the lamp, but otherwise they could have that flute.
Yep, and it is lamp locked because of those mitts, but everything else is in logic. Dig spot, first look, just a piece of heart.
Uh-oh. Flip Heel accidentally putting the bomb down instead of to the right. So two simultaneous bomb glitches going on. Deep Fried getting that Hera pot going. Not quite successful. And Flip Heel getting that hammer yump to the left.
Yeah, Deep Fried giving it a couple tries, doesn't quite get the hair pot. Just heads upstairs, the old-fashioned way.
And another glitch from Ravis. Icebreaker does give us our fourth bottle for bottle percent. So at this point, we're pretty much looking for a sword, which, you know, there's going to be one in GT, and a flute.
That is a pretty terrific bunny sprite from Ravis and that Sonic.
Oh yeah, the Mario Sonic one. I love
Yes.
that. Oh, powder for Ravis in Ice Palace.
That solves those fake powder concerns for Ravis's part.
Yes, that could have a flute, but still pretty small chance though.
Appeal taking the intentional death out of Dark Maze. Does get those mitts.
And Deep Fried getting that fairy revive. And they're gone. They're happy with those boots.
Yep, and as we know from our perch, that is the right decision.
It is. Nothing on pad, nothing of note up on the top of Hera.
Madcap is making the way, making their play back on a Dark Cross now. This is
good.
This is good. I hasn't done the front of escape yet though, so see if they actually do Dark Cross from here.
Well, checking these makes sense because you'll get your information that there is an item on Dark Cross, and they have that mirror making it so they don't have to worry about trying to death warp.
Right. Ravis making his way to a pretty tense cold stare fight here with does have potions, but just fighter sword and hammer.
And Deep Fried doing the fake powder. Let's see if this pays off too. Just
Only
bombs.
Yeah, only if you like antioxidants it pays off. Getting some blueberries.
And Ice Palace with a powder, which we know will lead to nothing, but otherwise a pretty empty Ice Palace too.
That is our other 5/6 crystal, though, so that does open up Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, that is a good point. I did not think about that.
Yeah, noting that Deep Fried did Hera, got those boots, did not check Spectral Rock Cave, and didn't get that mirror.
Well, so far Ravis does not quite have access to that pyramid, though I think, unless we don't have Skullwoods marked on his tracker.
Yeah, he has not done Skullwoods yet. Didn't have the Fire Rod in his first trip over the Dark World.
And changing his mind, or what? Ravis, I don't think quite knows what they want to do right now. Maybe checking Bombo's tablet?
No mirror.
Oh, you're right. Huh.
Really not sure what's going on. Madcap did check Dark Cross, did get that Samaria. So that's one of the big stumbling blocks out of the way for Madcap in terms of how his route has gone.
Now it looks like Ravis is just making their way maybe towards Skullwoods.
Yeah.
Or
It's going to.
oh,
This has to be. This is going to be a Skullwoods play if you're not picking up the. If you're not picking up the frog here.
but first hammer pegs.
Yeah, I think Ravis just got caught not really knowing what he wanted to do after save and quitting, and he would have preferred to save and quit up to Sanctuary, but didn't want to take the time to do it again.
This is very interesting, though. If Ravis goes up to Death Mountain, they'll also get the Dark Death Mountain checks, which nobody else, I believe, got.
That is correct. Didn't catch what Flipheel got under the bridge, but the rest of our water checks for the first time here.
Flute. We found the flute.
There's a lamp in Waterfall Cave.
The flute was in King's Tomb.
So that is so we're sword mode.
We're pretty much in sword mode. Unfortunately for Madcap right now, they're missing pretty much their pod play for their mids.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's where Madcap is heading next after Hype Cave, though. So, or after this stuff, I wouldn't be surprised to see Madcap do a bomb jump across over. Check out Catfish.
Oh, and I got distracted with that flute, but as pointed out in chat, Waterfall Fairy was our answer for the lamp.
Yeah, Flip Hill grabbed that. We're getting our first look at Zora. And as we do that, we'll welcome in the Raiders. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for joining us for the open weekly race. A link to the past randomizer. Got 4 big-time runners trying to get through the seat as quickly as they can.
Uh-oh, Ravis getting caught up with that hand grab, unfortunately.
Madcap trying to do a bomb jump across this river. Can't get it done, but does do just decides to do an Ancilla fake flipper instead, overwriting the splash.
So for anybody that just came in from the raid, at this point we are in somewhat no mode. We need a sword, but otherwise we pretty much know where all the items are, but every runner kind of has different items that they need. Good bomb strats and nice palace from Flip Heel.
Yeah, that room can be. That room is really well done with a couple different items. Bomb strats work really well against those pen gators. Medallions, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Madcap getting a little less in economics, and then I think Madcap just has pod left. It's kind of being funneled into there.
Which is good for that. Oh. They're going up Death Mountain. Did they activate the flute?
They've not activated the flute yet. They might be doing a spike cave check.
That has to be it. They already went up here and got their boots, got their mirror. Well, I guess getting half magic from Skullwoods a moment ago gives them a little extra incentive to go ahead and say check it. And it could have a sword. I don't think we've seen this check yet.
I don't believe you've seen this check either. It's just a heart container. So I think Madcap just has pod left.
Deep fried going into pod.
Madcap's gonna turn that flute in. Deep fried head into pod will get his mitts and flippers. Madcap trying to drain that magic bar, setting up for a fake powder.
And they get rewarded with those antioxidants. And we have our flute activation by Madcap.
People heading into his cold stare fight.
Looks like Ravis is going to give us our pyramid fairy check as well.
Very nicely done by Flipheel, using that fire rod to great use.
So that lamp, not only logically required for the myths, but also required to get up Death Mountain with that flute behind the boots, which are in Hera. That's interesting.
Yeah, the fire rod locked flippers unlocking the entire seed. Logically. All right, Pyramid Fairy, what do you got for us? Nothing. Cat making his way over to Palace of Darkness will collect those flippers and the mitts.
And then they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, they'll be a sword away and potentially Bombos. They'll be the first to put our no mode into what we actually someone actually having it all.
Seems to be. I mean, it's kind of hard to think where that sword could be. There's almost always a sword in Swamp Palace, which you don't want to go into. We have not checked out Dark Death Mountain. We have not checked out the Mire area. So there's a lot where swords could be at this point, including GT at the end.
Yeah, runners have a ton of looks at this point. I can't imagine Madcap's going to be straying too far from the path. If Meyer and Turok are both in the Ether Quake set, if he's not having to look for Bombos, I can't imagine he's going to do too much searching for a sword and just hope to find one along the way.
True. Full clear GT if you need to. But that's still a ways away. We got a few dungeons left to clear and a mitt left to find, which they're about to. So the logic wanted you to come into. Oh my gosh, wanted you to come into pod, light that torch, get your flippers, leave, go get your lamp from the waterfall, and come all the way back just for your mitts.
Yep.
Oh, logic.
And then I wanted you to go up to the mountain for boots, just to come back down and go get your flute at King's Tomb as well. So,
Unfortunately, there is no way around. You're not getting into that King's Tomb any other way.
yep.
So that's kind of a little bit unfortunate for Ravis in a way, because you're going to end up full clearing Turtle Rock likely, and Hira to get your boots, of course. And when do you eventually come back for that check?
Yeah, that is well, if you do grab your mirror, which Deep Fry did not, but the other two runners haven't made it up to the mountain to even get those boots yet. When you do grab your mirror, then you get to put um, those three checks, the two boots checks plus Graveyard Ledge, all in kind of one pod. And I think that'll get those runners over in that location. It might be a while for Deep Fry to get over there, though. Ravis and Flip Heel, neither of them have made it up to Harry yet and gotten those boots. We'll see if either of them grabs the mirror while they're up there.
Well, we know Zora or Mountain is the play, but Ravis has just had a lot to do, and they've just tried to stick pretty close to logic, minus those mitts, I think, because they did get the lamp after the mitts.
Yeah, and going up the mountain now with his with the lamp. We'll be the first runner to give us a look at Dark Death Mountain. Matt Cap playing a little dangerously here. Does survive and to get those mitts though. It's not a heart container, which gonna make him a little sad. Can't does have a mirror though, so doesn't really need to worry about death ward.
And Madcap is definitely the first person to be a sword away from a go mode at this point, I think.
Potentially, we still need to know what those medallion requirements are.
Oh,
We'll find out one of
that's
them here
true.
from Ravis here in just a little bit.
True. Bombos tablet, or not Bombos tablet, pardon me. Bombos is still a question mark. That is true.
And if you do the math, strangely enough, you are more likely than not to be requiring any given medallion.
With no sign from Bombos for anybody, the chances of Meyer being anything else are slim, and if it is Bombos, then you're probably just finding it underneath the doormat.
That would be the hope. Ravis is going to grab this mirror. Yeah, Deep Fried's route was a little unfortunate. He went around and he did Hera, got those boots, and then died in Hera and chose to just save and quit after a fairy revival. Didn't even take a look inside of Spec Rock. But this mirror may just be a red herring. We haven't needed it yet.
Oh, other than making things a little bit faster in some cases, nothing needed. Unless Swamp has 3 swords, it's probably not required.
Deep Fried finishing up Palace of Darkness as Matt Cat makes his way to the back. Ravis going to get that heart container out of Spike Cave. And Flip Heel is going to make his way up to Death Mountain for the first time.
Good for them. We'll see where Ravis goes. They just saved and quit to his house.
No flute yet. This looks like it's going to be a swamp play.
Yeah. Unless there's a few swords in there, this is a little unfortunate.
Ravis got the mirror and left Death Mountain. Did not get those boots out of Hera.
And that is, that's not good. Well, at the time some of the other runners went up to Death Mountain, two of them at least, they didn't have a lot to do. I believe two of our runners went up there without the mitts, so they pretty much did all they could sequence breaking and then left, which included Hera, but Ravis has a lot he can do. So it makes more sense for Ravis to leave and do other things than it did for the other runners.
Yeah, Ravis didn't check any of the Dark Death Mountain stuff out either. Got the mirror and completely left.
Very curious to bet on Swamp Palace over Light and Dark Death Mountain at the very least.
Yeah, I feel like Ravis might feel like he's a little bit behind and wants to make a play that maybe other runners have not made because that mirror is so late in the logic chain.
Well, and meanwhile, Flip Heel is up on Death Mountain. We've seen these checks, but soon enough, Dark Death Mountain will be some new checks.
Yeah, we'll see what Flip Heel chooses to do making this loop. Did choose to go to the east side first. Will make his way back up to Hera after that. Probably going to do that before doing the Dark World checks because of no mirror at this time. Matt Cat, maybe our first runner into that mire area.
Yes, this will be interesting. I can't see it being Bombos, but you never know.
It is Ether, so we are 2/3 of the way away from having go mode, other than a sword. Flip Heel gonna give us a look here at the other one, and it is Quake. So no bombos required today. We just need a sword,
Which could be in many places. Yeah, but Flip Heel still does need to go to that King's Tomb.
Yeah, and he's got to go to Hera first, and he's not going to be able to get back in the light world from here. There's no way you don't do Turtle Rock since you can do it while you're here. But just unfortunate sequencing.
All of our runners making good progress, though. We have Flip Heel with 5 crystals going for 6. We have Madcap with 4 crystals going for their 5th right now. Ravis with 5 crystals and in Pendant Swamp, and Deep Fried at 4 crystals and in Crystal Ice Palace.
Yeah, Deep Fried and Madcap right next to each other trying to get their 5th crystals. We'll see if Swamp has a bunch of swords for Ravis. That could be the best possible thing to find here. That's firewood. That's on a sword.
Sounds like it. Silvers would be okay-ish, but probably not worth the time investment. Yeah, Deep Fried going for that little bomb jump, very nicely done. Easy to fall off there.
Yeah, the bomb jump the other way is pretty free, but the left to right bomb jump there can be very easy to fall in.
I basically have a 50-50 shot to fail that every single time, or succeed, depending on your point of view.
Believe Ravis to the left side swamp has not found anything in here as of yet. We'll make a single trip. Did find that big key on the left side. There is a sword. There's one sword in Swamp Palace. Uh, Technically that is no mode. I can't imagine any of our other runners hopping into Swamp Palace to find that sword though.
I cannot see it. Not with two other swords readily available. Could you imagine, though, if that was required with both other swords on the tablets?
I can't imagine. I don't like it, but I can't imagine it.
Oh, chat would love it.
Uh, Various eyeball bosses being fought right now. We've got Cold Stare in the bottom right for Deep Fried, and Argus in the upper right for Ravis.
Oh, half a heart for Deep Fried going for ice. This is, oh, blue potion. We're good.
Yeah, this seed has been very generous with potions and safeties. Which is nice, because it has not been generous with weaponry.
Or defense, really. Not a whole lot of sword or hearts to speak of. Nobody with their second row of hearts.
Crystal pickups for Deep Fried and Matcat, fifth one for each. Flip Hill did find a sword in Turtle Rock, up to Master Sword, so definitely not going to see that Swamp Dip for Matcap, as he'll find his go mode in Turtle Rock.
Ravis is the big question mark. Do you go to Pendant Ice Palace that's green pendant, or do you go to Hira? Or Pendant Turtle Rock green pendant. Pendant Swamp Palace green pendant.
Yeah, Ravis already has that green pendant to turn in.
Oh, right.
The only thing Ravis has on the mountain at this point is Dark Death Mountain and Terra. Probably gonna do these mirror checks first. If you're checking Swamp and you think the mirror is the play, then you're gonna make all these other mirror checks before you do anything else. Flip Heel showing us how he feels about shields.
I'm not a shield fan myself. I get rid of him every chance I get. I think Flip Heel was the person I was referring to when I think I was talking about Ravis, but Flip Heel needs to go to Hira.
Yeah, and it's gonna have to save and quit off the mountain after doing Turtle Rock and then Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. So it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do after those checks. He'll using this hammer to do a little extra damage to these heads more than the Master Sword. With half magic, I just kind of stick with Master Sword and just slash away. I'm not really super comfortable with the hammer hitbox in this fight.
And there was another sword in Hookshot Cave as well.
Right, so there are 4 swords. Can't imagine Flip Heel will skip out on Hookshot Cave, will end up on Tempered. Deep Fried will have tempered shortly after heading into Turtle Rock. So plenty of swords. So we know that Swamp Sword is just definitely not worth the time at all.
That does keep the rule alive, though, where Swamp has to have a sword.
That it does. Flip getting through the Trinex fight, picks up crystal number 6.
So Madcap is a matter of minutes from go mode.
Yeah, gonna go through Vitris here. Gonna be a tough fight, no question about it. But once getting through this fight and heading up Death Mountain, we'll find those 2 swords on the mountain and be in go mode.
Good spooky, though.
Yeah, very good spooky glitch. Flip trying to figure out what they want to do here.
And like you said, with no mirror, that means that they're going to have to save and quit as soon as they get this little few checks here done.
They'll get their tempered sword, and then they'll get his. I don't think there's anything else in these checks, but get your tempered sword, and then figure out where you're going from there. Is it going to be? Still doesn't have the mirror either, so I can't do the swamp play. I assume you just save and quit right back to the old man cave and finish up the mountain.
Big question though. Do they? Oh, that's going to be tough. They'll get their mirror, but what's incentivizing them to go immediately from there to Hira?
I don't think they've read the tablet yet. And once you find the mirror, it's like your other checks are right there. So I think it's easier to justify checking Hera. With hookshot and boots, you can Hera pot very quickly, get both your checks done very quick. I just can't see Flip Heel passing up on Hera at this point.
And both Flip Heel and Ravis getting their tempered seconds apart in the same spot. Ravis is going to pick up Butter, though.
And Madcap getting through that vitreous fight. Nicely done, and making his way to East Death Mountain. Deep Fried, fairly well deep into Shoulder Rock right now.
Ooh. Madcap could end up on Master's Sword if they go straight for Total Rock and get their sword. Do they check Hookshot Cave?
Probably not. I think Madcap is confident enough in his abilities to just choose to do the rest of the game on Master Sword Silverless. And since Madcap's only one of these 4 runners that has found this fleet so far, it's going to have a huge time advantage.
You will. We're about to enter go mode as soon as we either go to Hookshot Cave or dive a little bit into Turtle Rock.
Yep. And Flip Heel is going to find this mirror, and we'll see what he does with it after he finds it. Meanwhile, it's a party in Turtle Rock. We got 2 runners in there, third one joining them.
And does Madcap go left to Hookshot or go straight into Turtle Rock? And they're going to go, okay, Hookshot Cave, good call.
Yeah, gonna find Master Sword here, gonna find Tempered Sword inside. Actually, I may not find. I don't know what the key layout was like in Turtle Rock, whether or not that big chest is going to be picked up.
Well, regardless, at 1:13:22, Madcap is our first runner in go mode. And at this point, they pretty much only have a Turtle Rock to finish. They'll head left into GT.
And Flip Heel is going to head over to Hera. Going to take a look at this tablet first and then head into Hera. We'll get his boots So
Please.
he'll be one check away. But it's in a pretty bad location compared to everything else he still has to do.
It is. I just hope they don't abandon it. Okay, this is good. Now they just need to make their way to Graveyard Ledge.
And big key early, so Madcap will have the option of doing that big chest or not. It wouldn't surprise me to see Madcap just skip it and end up on Master Sword here. Getting bullied a bit by the laser eye.
And Go Mode, I cannot see them checking that chest unless they open the door and check it anyway. Down to 2 hearts, though. I think they have a fairy or two.
Yeah, I believe they still have a fairy from the Bottle of Ice Palace.
And Flip Heel making the right play, just not even dealing with the rest of Hero.
Yeah, he's going to finish up his Death Mountain checks, and we'll see where he goes from there.
Let's hope it is not Swamp Palace.
I kept going to skip that lava chest door.
Some people do elect to go check that big chest in case it has that elusive small percent chance key that's required, but I can't see him doing it.
Yeah, there is like you said, there is a small chance that if that lava chest has a small key and the big chest has a small key, then you can get locked out from being able to finish the dungeon without grabbing one of those 2 locations. Madcap is going to make the loop around though, so not going to have to worry. Not going to have to worry about that. And B is going to pick up his tempered sword.
Very well rewarded for thorough routing. We know at this point the only thing that could be useful in GT is either a couple more hearts, which aren't really needed, or better yet, the silver arrows.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Flip Heel, he's making his way into Swamp Palace. Gonna find gold sword, but not much else. And it's hard. It's really hard to blame Flip Heel in this position. You just found that mirror. You have 3 checks in North Dark World versus 6 checks in Swamp, plus Green Pendant.
Very true. It's hard not to just go ahead and go into Swamp. If they go mode it and just skip left side, they'll be in a little bit better shape though, so we can hope that happens. And Madcap with no small keys is going to have to go into Laser Bridge and see where that other key is lying for them.
Yeah, probably feels kind of bad about that, having found that tempered sword. But Boots make these skips somewhat easy. But it is on 4 hearts, does have a fairy. And it's always the last chest, right?
It is. It's one of the reasons why when I'm playing the game, I usually go at random chest orders, whatever I'm feeling. I think I'll go 3, 2, 1, 4, and hope for the best. Alright, Ravis fighting, Trinex.
Yeah, Butter Sword, this is quite the breeze.
So, with so little time to fight Trinex and get over to GT, do you think it's about time we start playing a little game early?
Does this game involve numbers?
I believe so. Everybody in chat, feel free to start picking a number between 1 to 22 for the GT Big Key guessing game. Not going to be a whole lot of time to choose it once he finishes off Trinex.
Yeah, time to win some valuable bragging rights over your fellow Link to the Past Randomizer fans.
One unique guess from chat, left, left, right, right, left. That is a Ocarina of Time check. I don't think that'll apply here, but I could be wrong.
Listen, if someone played the flute and then found the big key in the next chest, I'd count it.
That's true. Lots of guesses from chat here. What do you typically guess for the GT guessing game if you put a guess in?
I am a fan of number 14.
Nice. I'm an early fan. I like typically going with between 6 to 10. I think today I'll go with 9 because this seed has been a little bit weird, so we'll go somewhere in the middle.
All right. Ravis heading over to Ether Tablet, gets those 20 rupees, and is finally going to make his way into Hera and get these boots. And having already done Swamp Palace, I think just has those boots checks left. At least in terms of connected checks. I don't remember if Ravis did things like Smith Chain or anything like that, but it does give him a couple of connected checks in Graveyard Ledge and those 2 boost checks.
I want to say with no mirror, I think they checked Peg Cave, that was about it. But here we are in GT. Number 1 is 10 bombs. Number 2 is a heart piece. So they're going to be forced to go left side.
Ravis did do hammer pegs in that little sequence where you felt like you wanted to go to Sanctuary instead of Link's house and then didn't.
Okay. I want to say 3 was a compass for Madcap, going for checks 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
Gotta expect plenty of small keys over here with no keys on the right side. Oh, and the big key. That is number 7, I believe.
Lucky, yeah. Welcome to the Keyporium. Finding all your key needs in one room.
Now, nobody today guessing 7. The closest to that would be Kirby Fan with a 6, I believe.
Yep, Kirby Fan with the closest without going over. Wind Rider on the other side, Wind Rider Shiva with 8. And thanks for playing, everyone. Now it's just a matter of execution between Matt Cap and the finale here.
Running a little bit low on arrows, but picks up a 10 pack.
It does have powder, it does have a lot of things in bottles, but not a lot of health in green mail. This can be a little tricky if you're trying to go fast and not necessarily safe.
Blue mail was in... Where was blue mail? Everyone else has it but Madcap.
I think blue mail was at Uncle? I can't remember exactly where.
It was early.
It was very, very early, yeah.
Yeah, confirmation from our chat here from Rob's, also one of our trackers today. Oh,
we're getting different things from our trackers. I'll believe one of them. It was either Uncle or the Mushroom Spot. Either way, very early check. Deep Fried on the hunt for flute. Ravis on the hunt for a flute. Both of them have chosen Desert Palace. And both are going to be incorrect, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Madcap killing a more important Landmola.
We also haven't done this since the beginning of the stream, so let's give a thank and a follow to our runners today. Flip Heel, Madcap, Ravis, and Deep Fried, who are all putting on a fantastic show for us and volunteering for Restream today. Thank you all for them. And also my co-commentator James FNX. Thank you very much for doing this with me today.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining me in the booth today, and hopefully we get Madcap here to the finish here pretty soon.
Absolutely. And we have Datwave and Robs on tracking, and we have Professor Render with the background setup of the stream. Thank you all.
fall is kind of bad. I think Madcap's gonna have to reset this room. There are a lot of places in this room you can fall and not really worry, but that was not one of them.
Very true. Okay. Flip heel, where are you going, buddy?
Flip Heel's going to turn this green pendant in, because I don't think anyone has.
That's a good point.
Big laugh if it's silvers. That's the only thing it could be that could really affect anything here. It's just a piece of heart, though.
Well, Madcap is about to face off versus Moldorm 2. Oh, Flip heel, you're super close. Just had a little bit east. Oh, looks like we're going to get the play from Flip heel.
Yeah, doesn't need the mirror to make this check. Can hop into King's Tomb. We'll get that flute and be our second runner into go mode. There it is at an hour 25 and a few seconds. Flip Hill doesn't quite know it yet. Doesn't know that Miser Meyer's medallion is not Bombos, but gonna find out very, very soon.
I imagine they will activate their flute and head straight there for sure. And we missed it, but Deep Fried also picking up their flute seconds behind. Getting in a go mode at 125, and we'll say about 26.
Yeah, it should be a good race between those two runners for second place here on the restream. But Madcap well in front of everyone. And Deep Fried never grabbed that mirror and is not going to need it. So mirror a total... Well, not a total blank. It's going to cost a ton of time, given where this big key is at in Ganon's Tower.
Now everyone's going to have a pretty quick GT. They're locked out of right side. Left side only has the compass on the torch, so they're pretty much going to be forced into that big key. Only thing to pay attention to, I guess, is when Ganon tells us the official location of silvers, which I imagine are in the tower.
Yeah, we've seen everything in Swamp, so I think at this point it's got to be just in Ganon's Tower somewhere.
And Flipeel getting the good news about Meyer, and Deep Fried also getting the good news about Meyer and Ravis.
And Ravis grabbing that flute. So everyone, our other three runners right on each other's footsteps. But Madcap already into phase 3 of this Ganon fight. In that torch glitch, we'll only have to worry about one of those two torches going out on him.
Spin to win.
My assumption is that Madcap has a green potion still. If not, this could get kind of interesting.
Well, thankfully they've got a lamp they can switch to if they need to, if they don't have something.
Not the Cletus Ganon of all time. I'll just have a blue potion. It's not gonna, not any worries.
Good idea to pop that. Should be a spin or two away at this point, I think.
There it is. Get those GGs ready in chat. We've got our first place on Restream winner about to cross the finish line.
Sub 130, well done.
Yeah, the GGs for Madcap being our first finisher on Restream. Official time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 37 seconds.
GG.
We're not going to go into the other people finishing this race, but that is a third place finish overall for Madcap. Really well done.
Looks like all of our runners are going to be going into Vitreous at almost the same time.
Yeah, really well packed together. This is going to be a real close race to the finish between these three runners.
We'll see if Madcat decides to join us for an interview here shortly.
Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome into the open weekly Links to the Past randomizer race here on Speed Gaming. Our first place runner today, Joss Bleeden, bringing his crew over here. And joining us in the booth right now, third place overall, first on the restream, Matt Cap. Congratulations, GG's on the run.
GG.
Hello, thank you. GG's to everyone involved. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic, and you made the one play here of all our four runners that really kind of broke things open, getting those boots very, very early.
Oh, really? I thought it was nice, but I mean it was really crazy when I found the flute, to be honest, which I thought was like maybe the big difference in this seed. I guess maybe the boots could be later if you didn't go to the mountain out of logic. But yeah, when I found the flutes, that was insane. Like at the end, it was the lamp had to be behind the flippers at the end, so that was kind of nice to just have it before Meyer, I guess.
Yeah, it was in the end, it was the flute that was kind of like the main difference between you and the other three runners. But you got to make those checks much cleaner in terms of grouping them because you had the mirror and had the flipper, had the mirror and had the boots so early.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, both. I guess both mirror and boots. Yeah, it's a huge difference. Yeah, for sure. It was nice when I just saw it in Hera. Didn't I guess in the? I mean, when the other bottle turned up in Desert Palace, it was a bit weird because it was okay. Maybe you could get the glove even earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a very interesting point early in the season. Like everyone hopped into Eastern Palace having that bow and kind of doing that dungeon out of logic, and it turned out you didn't even need to go in there to get your glove. But the only other thing that was potentially a sticking point, and you sussed it out somewhat early, was the King of Samari at Dark Cross. We're kind of a little nervous for you, considering you're the only runner at that point who checked the back of Escape too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like open that much lately because you never know with escape. To be honest, I was just looking for the flute at that point, like flute or lamp, like thinking it has to be around here. There's not many more places left, and yeah, I was really surprised. Like when I got to pod and the lamp was in the first checks, and suddenly the flippers were there, and it's like okay, it's probably swamp. I mean, it's not that bad for me because as I got the boots and the mirror quite early, I was able to check everything. So I think I would have gone to swamp quite early, but yes, suddenly the mids were also there, and yeah.
Yeah, it looked like that. Like the information you got from where those mitts were at and where the flippers were at and all that things kind of kept you away from the swamp. Where a couple of other runners did hop into that dungeon eventually, not having that sort of information, and you having found the flute faster than everyone else. They kind of just chose the 6 items of swamp over the 2 or 3 items in North Dark World.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was go mode.
Yeah,
basically with the mids. Yeah, so it wasn't. Yeah, that was really nice. That go mode. The swords were a bit scary because I just played Seed very recently where I skipped a bunch of stuff. I basically never found a sword, so that was scary. But that was really lucky because I don't know. I just did like okay, let's just do hookshot cave one before one sword. Let's just do the big chest just in case I run out of keys or whatever. And yeah, the 10% there was really nice.
Yeah, Len and I were speculating you might skip that check and just try and do a full go mode of Turtle Rock after finding that Master Sword. But yeah, checking the big chest for you paid off.
Yeah, I don't usually do it, but I was thinking maybe I can skip Laser Bridge. I probably would have gone. I ended up having to go otherwise, but yeah, the sword was really nice, and yeah, it went really well overall. I think like the only real time loss was like going to Desert Palace, probably. And also, yeah, I made a small mistake. I thought there had to be a small key in Harmless Hallway, but well, it happens.
Really well done though. GG's again. Don't know anything else that comes to mind for you as we are trying to get our other runners back on stream here.
No, not much else. Just big thanks to everyone involved in the stream and for commentary. Huge thank you to everyone, as always. And yeah, it was a a good race. And yeah, it's good to have a good result in a big race just before qualifiers. I don't know, feels good.
Yeah, it definitely has to feel good with main tournament qualifiers just 3 weeks away. So, congratulations again, Matt Cap, and thank you for joining us, and thanks for being part of the restream today.
Okay, thank you to everyone. Bye bye. Good night.
Good night. Okay, well, thank you for bearing with us while we try and figure out this stream issue here.
Yeah, I think some of the Dead Rocks got into the restream machine. We'll get that going. We're gonna check and make sure. Here's someone in Aghanim too. I think that's Flip Hill. Yeah, Flip Hill just about done with Aghanim 2. Gonna make his way over to Ganon. Deep Fried on the climb. And Ravis is almost done with Aghanim 2 as well. So this will be a close finish if we can get this restream going for you again between Flip Hill, Ravis, and Deep Fried.
And we are working on that issue with the restream, so we'll see how things go here. There we go. We are back up and running, and it looks like Ravis has finished up Aga 2. Flip Heel is in the Ganon fight, and Deep Fried is mirroring the...
Yeah, as we suspected, Flip Heel losing a bit of time not having that mirror. And we'll have video back for you in just a moment.
There we go.
All right, welcome back in. It looks like getting things synced back up. Thanks for your patience. We got Flip Heel in phase 4 of the Ganon fight. We've got Ravis in phase 3. Deep Fried heading over to Moldorm 2. And Flip Heel, get those GGs in chat because Flip Heel getting that last hit on Ganon. He's going to be our second finisher on stream.
GG to them.
Flip Heel crossing that bridge with an official time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, 58 seconds. And latest, following right behind, is just about done with his Ganon fight. And then Deep Fried with Aghanim too. So we have all three of these runners within a couple minutes of each other.
Okay. All right, we do welcome Flip Heel into the chat. GG to you.
GG's.
And we'll get more out of you in just a moment. As Ravis is about to finish here as well. So get those GGs ready for Ravis in chat as well. Going to be our third place finisher on stream as he crosses this bridge. And Ravis coming in with an official time at 1 hour, 39 minutes and 54 seconds. Just about a minute behind. Flip Heel, GG's to you. Really weird raw logic the seed wanted players to do today.
Yeah, yeah, everything was behind the lamp, which was behind the flippers, behind your fire rod. Fun, but yeah, and then I gambled the mountain wasn't to play for only one item, and was definitely punished.
And joining us as well, Ravis, GG's to you. Congratulations on the finish.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, it was it definitely made sense for both of you to kind of put off Tower of Hera as long as you did, but definitely did not pay off today.
I mean, I even finished Desert before getting my flute, so it went all wrong this seed, but it's okay.
Yeah, after Swamp, I was like, you know, all right, I'm cutting my losses here. Let's just do all the checks everyone else probably did already.
Yeah, and yeah, the seed gave you so much to do without those boots. Like, hey, they can't be required, right? And it turns out that they were with that flute at King's Tomb.
I mean, the boots were just in the middle, right? It could have been the flute as well in Hera. That would have been the same for me, at least. Like,
Right.
It would have just been bad. I had Swamp done it already and stuff, so I don't know.
Now, the seed gave you all so many directions you could potentially go. There's just no great decision to make this seed, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it hurt for me too because when I did do the mountain, I did full right. I didn't even check the item on top, so I didn't even get my mirror until after I did Turtle Rock. So I don't know. I guess the damage is already done there, but yeah, I had the boots, but I was like, surely if it's boots or Smith Chain, I'm in trouble anyway. So went to Swamp and it not good, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, these seeds are going to be like that sometimes. And crossing this finish line, our fourth place finisher on Restream, Deep Fried, with an official time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, 53 seconds. Get GG's out for Deep Fried as well. Coming up in fourth place in the Restream, but still a pretty solid finish.
And two runners finishing at the same time, Deep Fried and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, 142.53. That's pretty interesting.
We'll see if Deep Fried wants to hop in as well and talk about this seed. And then joining us right now is Deep Fried. GG's on the race.
GG's Deep Fried.
Didn't realize I had my my audio muted. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. GG to everybody.
GG.
Yeah, and very close finish between all three of you at the end there. What do you think would have been? We talked to Ravis and Fliphill about the boots in the mirror. Deep Fried, you didn't even grab the mirror while you were up on the mountain.
I didn't even see it. Was mirror in Spec Rock? I never checked it.
Mirror was in Spectral Rock Cave, and it just turned out to be a kind of a red herring.
Lucky I didn't end up getting it then, because it was... I got stuck in Hera. I just forgot I had a fairy and got my second item. Like, I don't have mirror. Okay, let's just death warp out. And I went, all right, fairy, let's just save and quit, get out. I'll leave Spiral Cave. I'll leave Spec Rock and just hope that it's nothing. And end up, I dodged a red herring out of it.
You did. It baited two of our people into Swamp Palace, ended up saving you a little bit of time. So, yeah, it ended up being a fortunate mistake.
I just wish I hadn't gone back to Desert. I thought I had 2 items left in Desert as opposed to just the one, because I realized when I got there, I'm like, oh, I grabbed the first one when I went in right after I got Moon Pearl. Otherwise, I would have done Bomb and then King's Tomb first and been just a little faster.
Oh, but this seed was tough to route. Wanted you to go by logic all the way to Pod, get your flippers with your fire rod, leave, get your lamp from the waterfall fairy, go all the way back to Pod for your mitts, only to go out and take that up to get your flute out of King's Tomb. Logic is a little weird.
Yeah. If mirror was available, you could have. I guess you could have gotten that with your mirror earlier and ended up with flute a little sooner if you didn't have to do that. But yeah, that was a little. There was many ways to get to one point on this one, especially with some sequence breaking.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Madcap was the first runner, I believe, to run up Death Mountain, get the mirror, get the boots, and not too long after, I believe, I want to say they got those. I want to say they got the flute not long after.
Yeah, they were the first one on the restream at least to get that flute and get it. The only one who got it before Mitts, so decisions were a lot less rough for Madcap than they were for the rest of our runners today, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, if you get flute, yeah, it's definitely possible. Oh, yep. That's honestly the one reason I kind of hate open mode. It's like you get mitts, and it's just there's a small chance that they could be useless, and yeah, sure enough, they were the seed.
Yeah, outside of getting those swords at the end of the game, that was the mitts were just there to finish dungeons. So, Flip, Ravis, Deep Fried, any last thoughts about this race before we get things wrapped up here?
Just the standard stuff. Thanks for restreaming. Thanks for commentating, guys, and tracking. Thanks to chat. GG's to everyone, and see you next time.
Pretty much what Ravis said. And yeah, minus the boots that I missed. It was a pretty good seed overall. So.
And I'll just echo what my fellow 2 runners have said. Yeah, thanks to everybody for the restream, the trackers, the commentators, everybody else. Thank you, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks again, and make sure you give these runners a follow. Madcap, Flipheal, Ravis, and Deep Fried 87. Give them a follow and show them some love for the show they put on today. Also like to give a big shout out to our trackers, Datwave and Robs. Helping keep us on tabs of everything that everyone's been grabbing. A lot of stuff going on, and trackers help us keep focused on calling the action instead of looking at items. And Lana, thanks to you for joining me in the booth today.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It was a blast. It was amazing. I love doing this, and thank you for joining me as well. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this action. And getting ready for tournament season. We're going to have a bunch of open big races. Just 3 weeks away from the tournament starting, that main tournament. If you want details on that, there are a couple Discords you can join in. If you stop and ask somebody in the Speed Gaming Discord, I'm sure they can point you out where you need to go. So with that, I think that's going to do it for us today. Lana, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. I hope everyone's had a good afternoon and a good evening, and heads out, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody. Have a good day.